let us search and examine our ways and turn back to Yahweh. Let us lift our hearts and hands to El in the heavens and say, we have transgressed and rebelled. You have not forgiven. He says, you have wrapped yourself with displeasure and pursued us, and you have slain us. In other words, he said, we've done this stuff, and you've not just said, okay, I'm going to wipe it out. We're still paying a price for what we've done because we've not owned our stuff. We have transgressed and rebelled. He's not going to forgive you until you repent. Notice it didn't say we rebelled and we repented and you didn't forgive us. By forgiveness, he's talking about the more full thing, saying the reconciliation and restoration. You still pursue us and you're slaying us and all these other things. That's the human understanding. You skipped a step. That's where the problem is. It says, let us search and examine our ways. And you examine your ways by comparing them to his ways. And as you examine them, you have to ask yourself, I know I've transgressed because we make mistakes and we do things we shouldn't do because we want to and that kind of stuff. But how much of it was also rebellion? Where you in a much more conscious way did it knowing you shouldn't do it. I mean, not that when you sin, it's not something that on some level you know you shouldn't do, and you're overwhelmed by your lust or desire to do something that you really want to do that he says no, or you really don't want to do something he says yes. But some of it is abject and outright rebellion, where you basically say, I know he said that, and it's not, see, the first example I said, I know he said it, but my emotions are so strong and I'm so addicted or I'm so this or that, I'm struggling in my handicap. The other side of it is, I know and I don't care. That's the rebellion. Because a lot of you do, like Paul said, that which I want to do, I don't do, and that which I don't want to do, I do. That's not rebellion, that's an internal struggle between me and him. My, me, and him. But then there's the other level, which is going on here in Lamentations, which is the level of, I don't care. I want what I want anyway. I know he said it, and I don't care. That's rebellion. I don't like what he said, and I'm going to do what I want because I don't care what he said. He's wrong. There's a good thought to have. That's the dumbest thing you could ever think. He's wrong. It really isn't a more foolish thought that you could ever have, that he's wrong and you're right. And that is not going to work. That is rebellion. So let's be encouraged that as part of the shuvah, the returning, you must examine your ways and look for, is there rebellion there? Is there rebellion there? Are you doing it fully understanding that you shouldn't, but you refuse to do it? You don't like the idea of having tassels on your clothing, so you don't want to put the seat on because you're afraid of what everybody's going to say or people are going to look at you and blah, blah, blah. So you have chosen not to do it. That's rebellion. Because you're allowing all that emotion there. It's not like you find yourself, where you have an addictive problem and you find yourself drawn to something because of that addictive problem, and you struggle with it. When you give in to fear, that's going to almost always be where rebellion comes out of, fear. What was the rebellion you saw happening in the wilderness? They said, go spy out the land, and they came back, and out of fear, they rebelled and didn't go in the land. See, fear. We don't generally transgress those things that we struggle with because of fear. We transgress because we struggle. We have a strong urging to do, and we know we shouldn't, but we are struggling that internal battle. There's other stuff there's no struggle. I just don't want to do it. I'm afraid to do it. I don't want to go through all of that, and I'm just going to reject it. It's rebellion. The person that, when we would talk about Israel right after the Balaam-Balak thing, and the guy came right through the camp with the woman in everybody's face, that wasn't because he couldn't control his desires. He did it because he wanted to show everybody, I don't care. I'm going to do what I want. That's rebellion. That, by the way, is some places rebellion is like onto witchcraft, things kind of thing. No, rebellion is like onto the ground opening up and swallowing you. That's how he feels about rebellion. So you want to examine yourself and see, is there any rebellion in you?